Hey guys, this week, episode 2, we've got me blindfolding the guys and putting something in their mouth. We've got a man fly kicking a crocodile, and we've got Ben trying to make us like a certain TV show. Tune in.
Right.
Choose the fact.
Boys, we're back. Here we are. Episode 2. Friday, sending you into the weekend with good vibes, good laughs. Episode 1 was in the bag.
Oh yeah.
Happy Friday.
Oh man, after all that time of talking, we did an episode. How does it feel getting one in the bag, boys? Ben, how was it for you?
Do you know what, honestly, I was over the moon by the end of it. I know we had a few little hiccups here and there or whatever, but I think it just naturally flowed kind of the way that I thought it would. I thought we would have like the same kind of chat that we have when the camera's not rolling, and it was like that, and I'm really quite into it.
Yeah.
And I was excited for what we're going to do differently and what we're going to do more with this week. So that's how I felt.
Yeah, man. How about you, Dean?
Yeah, well, the ball's rolling, and then, we're just going to keep improving and keep doing what we do, really, isn't it? So now the ball's rolling, it's up from there, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think, we said about it in the last episode, it's like just getting that first one, creating a bit of momentum, and like you said, we wrapped and we were like all turned to each other like, actually went quite good, didn't it?
That went quite quick. It went quite quick.
And we were all buzzing, and then I stepped behind the camera, and it was like, oh, the camera's been turned off. So you might have seen, if you were watching on YouTube, that the camera only lasted about 12 minutes. A little bit longer than all the three of us last on a good day. So
Also 12 good minutes.
12 good minutes is better than 30 sloppy minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Saying nothing.
who would have thought that cameras, right, like decent cameras, have a function where they just shut off after 12 minutes?
Who's that for?
Yeah, so I've spent this week in the weeds of the geekiest side of YouTube, audio, visual, but we've upgraded. We've got new fancy mics, we've got a new camera, we've got a new little setup, and I'm buzzing. I've got super geeky this week with it all. I think it's going to level us up. But more importantly, it's going to just make sure that all the good stuff we say and do is going to get captured and not missed.
Yeah, because there's no point doing 40 minutes of pod and only getting 12 minutes of content.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And especially with today's episode, where you'll see something that's in the middle there that Dean's got prepared for us. We're very much the visuals are what we want here. Right? I think if you are listening on audio on Spotify, on Apple Pods, like fair play to you, but like really
there's going to be a lot of visual aids in it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to do our best to describe it to you, but if you are listening now, head on over to YouTube, and we promise you it'll be much better. But as I say, we've got new tech, and I have a few surprises up my sleeve. These guys don't know what they are yet. I've got a brand new system that has a few little things. We talked about jingles last week.
Can you tell how excited he is? He's unreal.
No, I noticed. Let me have a look.
Christmas.
I noticed last week Dean might have said a few little naughty words at the start. So, Dean, could you just say a few words for us?
Not naughty. Please swear. Channel 4.
So we've got a nice little sensor for Dean. And Ben, can you when you tell us one of your bad jokes, we've always got a...
Wow. Oh, we're going to do cricket. Yeah, okay. We'll see who gets those. Look how he's positioned the whole thing next to him as well.
I have full control.
Glass houses over there.
I have full control over here. I will cricket my own joke if I need to, for sure. But
we might need to get a separate buzzer for that on this side, I think.
But yeah, and then, I mean... These guys don't know some of these things. I'm buzzing for you to see it because I've been working, squirreling away, got a few little things up my sleeve. But we're going to dive into the first segment. And it's a shame that I haven't got better eyesight looking at this thing. But I've had a little bit...
Can't buy the eyes, can you?
I reached out to a few friends in Hollywood, and I got one of them to just record us a little something for our next segment, which is...
Pay attention and listen. Chew on this.
There we go. That's our good friend Ice Cube. All
Cheers.
the way from Compton.
Thanks, Mr. Q.
Yeah.
That's really good. I really like that.
Everyone trying to dealer, find a supplier.
One more time.
Wow.
Pay attention and listen. Chew on this.
There we go. So Ben, over to you, mate.
Do as the man says. Unbelievable. I'm actually blown away by that. That's brilliant.
Cool,
good job. Okay, so cool. We're going to do our very first iteration of a segment we like to call Chew on This. And what's going to happen is now, I'm going to take the driver's seat on this one, but going forward, it will be different people who'll come up with a thing that they're really into at the minute that's really hot for them. and try and convince the other two, and you hopefully at home, that it's worth checking out. So I've got one that I think will work really well for you two, because you guys are mildly aware of this kind of thing, and you know that I'm into this kind of thing already. So there is a Netflix show on at the minute, and you might have heard of it, you might not have done. It's the One Piece live action.
Oh,
Yeah, do you know
okay.
anything about this?
Yeah,
you kind of know where this is going now, right? I'll get him eventually.
Do you know what the reason? The reason that we did this segment is every time we meet, one of us will say something stupidly obscure, and the other two will roll their eyes. But I think we all need to become a little bit open-minded. So let's give you a go. I'll let you get into it.
That's what I want to hear. So, right, if you guys know anything,
Have you heard anything about One Piece?
I have just seen the thumbnail.
Yeah, with the guy with
And that's it.
with the guy with like the Star Trek level 80s.
I know something about One Piece, and it's kind of like was it a game even maybe? Or
so it's an old anime show and manga that's been running for.
I was going to say you're going to pick manga.
decades.
But like one
Yeah,
of the
just pick a
biggest
manga,
ever,
bro.
right?
It's the biggest selling thing.
How are you judging biggest, by the way? Like,
In terms of sales figures, you can go look at the sales figures for it. It's like the highest selling manga. Probably, I think it's actually even crept up, and I should have prepared this, but I think it's crept up in terms of just fictional stories being sold by any formula. It's one of the highest out there. So I think it beats out like Harry Potter's and all
Lord
those
of the
kind of
Rings.
things. It's right up there. I mean, it's been going for decades, and it's still going strong now. It releases weekly in the comic form. It also releases weekly on the animated form. But the reason I'm talking about the live action is because.
so can I just ask a question, right? Because you're really into this, and you always have been.
Yeah.
And you will read manga on the tube, won't you?
Oh, 100%.
Like,
yeah.
So you know how with like, let's say, Marvel right now, originally comics, and then it's been adapted for screen, but they're two different creatives. That you can. Batman's been molded how many times? How much protection do they have over like their? Is it the same people that have always been on it, or?
Okay, this is good. This is a very good point. I'm glad you bring this up, because what you find tends to happen is you'll get different people writing different stories, and they will try to put the best version of that on screen. And of course, to adapt any written form of media to screen, you need to take some liberties. You need to change quite a few things to make it palatable for that new medium. Now, the writer Eiichiro Oda, who is the writer of the manga, who's been writing it forever, he is very much got his finger on the button when it comes to not only the manga but also the anime and also the live action. So this has gone through stringent checks by him to make sure it's at the standard at which he wants to produce it at.
Yeah.
So
that is important, right?
It's a game changer. I don't know, you may or may not.
When you say live action though.
Yes, real people.
Yeah.
So
That was the question, right?
That was the question.
Yeah, real people. Yeah. Real people doing real things.
Yeah.
But the tall and short of it is.
There it is. 1-0, baby.
The tall and short of it is the main reason I'm saying this and not the manga or the anime is because a lot of people just can't get their heads around watching animated products. They think it's not for them. They think it's for a different audience.
my
daft,
partner's like that. She'll just switch off anytime it's animated, and then I made her watch the Kid Cudi, Virgil Abloh, Intergalactic.
Yes.
Which I thought was a masterpiece. I'm a
Phenomenal.
massive Kid Cudi
Yeah.
fans anyway. Like everything that man touches is like gold to me. And like Spider-Verse.
Oh,
like
the first one of them.
You tell me.
Like, man,
yeah. I mean,
mad.
even like some like Big Hero 6 and some of them animated. These
In
are
fact, all of them.
These are punchy movies within their own right.
Yeah.
Like you got me into anime. You got me into
You've seen a
Berserk,
few now.
which is just hard.
Yeah.
And like, I don't get the full anime like you do.
Yeah.
I need you to recommend me a little bit more of a mainstreamy one. I need like a gateway drug.
Yeah.
Some of
Gotcha.
it is like
He's on heroin. I
Level.
need, I need to do laughing
Manga
gas every
heroin,
now and again.
Don't clip that bit, please.
So
He's on
doing Castlevania.
animated heroin, shall we say? I need a gateway
I'm
drug.
doing Castlevania. I think there's a new
Castlevania's
season
sick.
just come out.
Yeah, very good, very
Sick.
good.
But then there's like Ragnarok as well, isn't it? Right, and that's like another level up again.
What's that record of Ragnarok that's out there now?
The one where they're like fighting.
Yeah, it's trash.
The one thing the one thing I would say though is, and this is probably why you're gonna have to convince me here.
Yeah.
Is the way I just said that you said that some people don't just switch off at animated stuff. I'm the opposite. I switch off at live action stuff.
Yes.
Like don't get me wrong, if it's normal, filmed by humans for humans.
Yep.
Obviously I'll watch that. But like all these Disney remakes, like when they did like Lion King, Little Mermaid. Now obviously that's Disney anyway. But like those stories are part of our childhood. They're all. They're all so bad. Censor. They're all so bad though, and I just can't. I just feel like they're just money making off like the back of something
you're just
that's
rinsing
already
something
just for the sake
that
of
was
it.
already good at the start.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So this is something that's quite common in with people who watch these kind of things regularly, right? So live actions are typically marred with this sense of they're not going to be anywhere near as good. They're going to be a cash grab. They're going to just be something hastily scrolled together to cash in on the popularity of the original source material. Now, the reason this is an exception is because of how influential and how attached to the project the mangaka is. Oda, again, I mentioned his name.
No, I was just saying, so yeah, that's what you're saying. It's just why it's different.
So heavily involved in it, and he won't let it slip through if it's just a cash grab. And because he's been so heavily involved in the creation of this, you can just feel it when you watch it. You can see how much love they had for the original source material. They've put a lot of money. Like this is a huge show.
They,
right?
they often do though, right? So it's not always a lack of fun.
Plus, you got to pay actors then in it as well. You know.
Yeah, you normally get unknown actors, but then high CGI, and then that's sometimes like
you've got a bit of a mixed bag
like
in here.
Avatar, and then Mortal Kombat, like
or Dragon Ball.
Oh man,
Is Mortal Kombat any good?
The newest one's all right. It's some funny bits in it.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not what you're hoping for.
Yeah, it's not Mortal Kombat.
No. But I would say,
get over here.
Considering, and I've seen a lot of these things. I've seen a lot of these live actions. I've seen a lot of the duds that have been out there, and I would say unequivocally that I would be happy to recommend this to anyone. It took me, don't get me wrong, it took me a minute when I first watched the first episode, and I was like, I'm obviously used to it the way that I'm used to it. I'm used to the source material. I was like, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah.
It's a creeper.
Got 2 or 3 episodes in, and I was just like, oh, this is as good as it's ever going to be for this kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's already going to get better. They've already signed on for a season 2. The Netflix want up until season 6 already now, so it's been received really well.
Okay, so that's interesting then. So if I was reading the back of this DVD in Blockbuster, what's it saying? How am I find out what this is even about?
So I won't bastardize like a really bad synopsis now, so I'll say have a look at what they've got on Netflix. But the basics it's a pirate adventure show, right? Which is just there's something
Captain Pugwash.
There's something quite core, I think, to human beings that like want the freedom element of being a pirate.
I'd be dead already by 35.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
The lack of diet change would really throw my
bit of scurvy, but
Bit of scurvy for you, boy.
man.
but the life
Just
though.
constantly like this. All day, every day.
It's
Men thrown up in a bucket. A little bit of treachery.
The idea.
But the highs were high though, innit?
The highs were high,
yeah.
and I tell you what, I love a mutiny. I would love to
This-
be a lowly potato peeler in the undercarriages of a
Some
boat,
scrubber.
master and commander, and I'd take that red coat off him, and I'd take him off the plank. It's my ship now, homie.
Who's peeling potatoes now?
I always like the idea. I always like the idea of planning a mutiny in a walled garden with my hands behind my back.
If we
Assassin's
ever
Creed stuff.
if we ever
Black Flag,
start a pirate crew, he's not coming on board.
Yeah.
Mr. Mutiny.
Oh,
over here,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Just
can't
give me
wait
power
to
from the start.
make me the captain
Because
from
I'm
the
getting
beginning.
it somehow.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Can I just swashbuckle? Is that all right? That's all I want to do.
You need
Bit of
that
rum.
sword that has the cutlass.
The guards.
Cutlass.
Yeah.
I could see you with a cutlass.
Yeah, you've got the
would
look
you-
of a man with a cutlass.
What would your pirate name be, Dean?
Captain. It's got to be captain, isn't it?
No, but if you're just
Well,
a
you're gonna overthrow
swashbuckler,
me,
you're
innit?
like
Nah, it
lieutenant.
wouldn't be captain.
Lieutenant.
I don't know.
Lieutenant Curly.
It would definitely have to do something with his
Do you
hair.
know what?
wouldn't it?
If I could go back in time, I'd go back and be a pirate, right? But I've never thought about my name, to be fair.
Do you know that's
So,
where
that's what you have
Bluetooth
to
comes
come-
from? That's a Viking pirate who was really good at like finding his
Symbol,
way.
innit?
Yeah, he was really good at finding his way, and obviously Bluetooth's all about connecting, and that's where they got the word Bluetooth
I
from.
want someone to fact check that so hard because
Yeah.
I read
Fact
this.
check
I
it,
read
fact
this
check it.
before,
Hey.
and I was like, "That sounds like
Learn something
bullshit,"
new every
but
day.
I'm happy to be wrong.
I'm happy. I'm always happy to be fact checked as long as I'm right.
Figure it
Okay,
out.
I'll come up with a pirate name though. Give me some time to think and I'll come up with a pirate
Okay,
name.
and it's, so back to that One Piece then.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that gets some people at anime, and I'm going to say this from it got me a little bit, is when it's so ridiculous and they are a bit cheesy at times.
Yep.
It's the
kind of the-
you know that
it's kind of
you
the
kind of just have to get, but then
thing of
what
it, though.
was, you have to kind of get over that a bit, and once that becomes normal and you're not going, that's not real, that's not very good acting. Everything is hyperbole. Everything's over the top. Is this like that as well?
So I think they've really understood that you can't like for like it with like the anime. You can't do it. You can't be as silly. But don't get me wrong, they still keep the same like the vibe alive. It's still fun, still silly fun.
Do you get like
adventure.
cut close-ups of like?
You do get a little bit of that, and I'll be honest. When I first saw it, I was like, "What are you doing?" But then I was like, "Oh, I get it. I'm with it now." So you just got to you got to lose yourself in it, get on board with it, and just have fun with it. And when you realize it's just a fun show, and the story, by the way, it's one of the greatest works of fiction of all time. Is it true to the manga, or is it a new era? There are definitely changing. There's definitely some changes that, again, if they've been done to make it a little bit more digestible for newer audiences. But for the most part, it stays pretty true to the story. And they honestly, and some people are going to hate me for this, they've made some improvements. They genuinely have made improvements to what the original story did, and that is not something I was expecting to see. I won't say any more on that.
So would you say watch this? It doesn't matter which one you watch first.
I would say, yeah, I tell you, watch this first.
Well, you're not going to read 40 years of manga, are you?
The anime is on like episode 1200 now.
Pages a week.
There's like thousands of episodes and there's thousands of chapters. Okay. I'd say this is an easy in. No, but this is good. It's good
and again, that for me is always the part that puts me off about anime is I listen to another podcast and they talk about it a fair bit and I'm like, oh, that sounds really good. I go on it and it's either on like, you can't really watch it on a streaming service, so you're then kind of like watching it on like a site or something. It's never the same quality. You got to plug I know that sounds like not much, but it's barrier to entry.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
And then you look at it and there's like 50 seasons, and you're like, where do I even start? Like, that's why like Netflix started doing them now, but some of the Netflix ones are a bit weak.
When you see there's like already 6 seasons, you're like,
it's hard. And I don't get to watch that much TV anymore because I'm working and. Like when I was off last year after I got made redundant, I was watching a few and I got really into it.
Yeah.
But and it's nice. And
there's so much as well, isn't there? Like, you know what I mean? There's so much that you just could just
the pockets are deep.
It's diluted. Yeah. Get diluted.
And then also some people are like, yeah. So don't do seasons 3 till 5 because they're just stupid. Get back on it at 6, and you're like, it just feels like
can't swerve 2 seasons, isn't it?
It feels mad to me. But then some people say that, and it's like, and then you watch me like, oh yeah, that's fair enough. But on live actions then. What do you can you remember any good ones?
Any other
good live actions?
Did you see the Aladdin?
Let's just write Disney off right now.
Take those out of the equation immediately.
I didn't see it though, but yeah.
I'll be honest, for the most part, no. I've seen plenty of them, but all of them I just think are a huge step down from what the source material offers. I don't think there's
because they usually fall into the trap of just being just a money spinner in it. So that's what you're saying. The guy who's created is hands-on.
So heavy.
Attack on Titan, they've got that one. Apparently, that's not bad. I've heard that a couple of times, but
How can you live action that?
That's what I mean. But also, you can say the same thing about One Piece. So I can't use that same argument anymore. You could make it, but also Attack on Titan's just a bit.
They've done a live action of Parasite.
Oh yeah, that
with Migi.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, right.
But like, how are you gonna have like tentacles coming out of someone like that?
If you haven't got the budget, like it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Have they got the budget?
I suppose in Asia, like where these animes are more woven into culture and they're not seen as this niche thing that you like. There's probably a ton of these live actions.
I think we'd probably still be surprised though, because I don't really know what the general reception is, even for the general populace in certain Asian places. I don't know if it's still seen as a little bit of a niche product, but just you have a lot of people buying it. But like, it's still not like a cool thing.
Old Boy. Okay, not bad.
Is that even an adaptation?
Apparently so.
Old Boy's phenomenal, by the way.
And then obviously all the Marvels are essentially live action, I guess. But I think they're their own thing, though, aren't they?
Yeah, we can't really put them on the same.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it a go.
Holes. Holes, yeah.
That was, I remember that. The one that I remember watching, I can't remember what it was now, that wasn't bad. Trying to remember it.
Well,
I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it. No one likes me on an hour in.
Yeah, so even if you watch one episode, I'll be happy with you doing that.
I will. Me and my brother we watched a bit of we're just fully into the anime in the evenings at the moment. We're having dinner, watching Castlevania. We've just smashed. We started Castlevania like from season 1 like 2-3 weeks ago. So we've smashed through that.
It's a good show.
Cool then, man. So we're going to check it out.
Yeah,
you should check it out. Let us know what you think as well. If you're first timers, let's all be open minded and give Benny Boy a chance.
And if you've been watching One Piece, let us know what you think as well, So
One Piece live action Netflix. Everyone's got access to it. Go and check it out.
Cool. Sounds good. So we're going to go into Laugh of the Week, which I know we did it at the end this week, but we're going to do something else at the end this week. So it's
what's made you laugh this week then, Sam?
It's my turn for this. So there we go.
Oh, we'll have
There
that.
we go.
Yes.
10 points if you can spot the jingle.
Hey,
Look
hands
at
up for
that.
that one. I like that.
I mean, if you can't spot the jingle there, minus 10 points actually. It's
Yeah.
not points for knowing that. So firstly, right, I'm gonna hijack my own thing with what I sent you in the chat this morning, which if you haven't seen it, was that picture there. I'll put it up on screen now. So as you can see, it's a portly African-American gentleman wearing camo shorts with phenomenal kicking technique.
Yeah.
It's
The
pretty
size
good.
of him, he's got his leg high.
He's got his leg high and straight. He's got a nice right angle at his hip, and he's connected with Sweet Chin Music with an alligator, right? And I want to
I thought
dive.
it was a child.
Mate, get your
Surely
phone out and have a
When
proper
I
look at
first
it.
looked at it, I thought it was a child.
How hungover are you this morning?
Unbelievable. He just opened his eyes,
so-
surely.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the comments was
No, come on, it looks like...
one of the comments was Derek Lewis is taking his training up a notch, which I thought was a low blow. My
Guess
balls
the
are hat.
backstory though. Like, who goes out in his shorts just kicking crocodiles?
So this
like,
is it,
you know?
right? This is what I wanted to talk to you about. So if you can see in this picture, right, he's kicking one, but there's two behind him. There's one creeping up at the front. There's one behind. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5, 6 alligators in that shot.
He better have some combos ready,
Yeah,
basically.
He better not be a one-kick man because he's going
Like,
down.
is that the final thing he did before
He's
he
going
died? If so,
down.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this should
And
be
there's a lot
listed
of
under-
lunch there, isn't there?
A lot
You
of
know what I
lunch.
mean?
Yeah.
This should be listed under moments before disaster, honestly.
Yeah,
Because,
but hang it in the Louvre.
Is he still alive? I want to find out. We need to find
Yeah,
out. If
exactly.
This
If
guy's
you're watching
still
this-
breathing, man.
Random man from... It's Florida man as well, let's face it.
it must
Florida.
be. Yeah,
It's Florida
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Mark Henry,
Mark Henry, yeah, exactly.
sexual chocolate himself. The alligator's one of the piece. That's unreal.
And he's not having it.
He's
at all.
not having any of it.
Get out of here.
So that's my one laugh at it that got me, but I am going to show you something else that I did have planned. And I know you've seen this already. I've told you about this, but I've not shown it you. But essentially, this is Charlie Day. It's the guy from, that's who I mean, right? That guy's Charlie,
Always Sunny.
Charlie
Yeah,
Day.
yeah.
So he's in an interview talking about a Danny DeVito story, talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. So there's a little bit of hearsay, probably a bit of Chinese whispers, but I do not care. This is gold.
Danny DeVito wouldn't lie, would he? You know.
Story,
Yes.
although this is not one that I was present for,
Yes.
was he told me a story about, he's like, Charlie, I went to this one party in the 80s and, I walk in the party and it's like cocaine everywhere. I'm like, all right. And he goes, they got everybody's name spelled out in cocaine on these glass tables. And, there's mine, DeVito. And then I look over and Schwarzenegger's eyes are like, he's smiling because his name's like 30 miles long. He's like, look at this, Danny. Look how long my name is. That was my favorite.
He wasn't going to sleep that night, was he?
He was not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've watched the Arnold documentary,
Vote for Arnie, yeah?
not Pumping Iron, yeah, Arnie 24. If you watch that documentary, you can tell that he had a good time, like a bit of a party boy. Obviously, in the 80s in Hollywood, like you hear them stories that there was just cocaine everywhere.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the idea that someone has prepped everyone's name.
Yeah.
What if they open a window? All that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah.
But how high is Schwarzenegger after that? Like, what size font are we
He
talking
was
about
shouting
here?
that around, didn't he? He was like, "You want to get down on the G over here?"
Someone help me with the G. Wow, so bad. It's a bad impression. Oh wow, that's made it even better. Oh wow, because the thing is, Charlie Day's impression's actually really good.
Yeah,
on
but he's
both of them.
the paid actor.
Oh, look at him.
The paid actor did
on my
better
pizza.
impression. Oh dear me, dear me.
Arnie's actually rolling in his grave.
What
yeah.
party?
Alive.
I'd love to know who else was at that party.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Renee Zellweger, probably.
yeah. Who's that?
she had a hard time then, innit, as well. Lucy Liu would have had a shit time.
I mean,
right?
Oh yeah, poor cow.
I don't think she needs it. I think
Lou.
she's stimulated enough, Lucy Lou.
Yeah, well.
I think Danny DeVito sounds like a small name, but a small guy, so probably proportionately high.
I
as
can't
Schwarzenegger.
see him doing the line, you know, Danny's bit. I just can't.
I
see
just
it.
think everyone who was famous in the 80s and 90s definitely had a habit at some point.
It was
It
no,
was just
it was
there,
rife,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
there
rife
weren't the
for it.
consequences of today. Well, there were, but there weren't like it
It's
wasn't
not going
as,
on YouTube, is it? You know?
Yeah, I think now it's like, oh yeah, that's cool, mate. Like, you know, you see McGregor walking around everywhere, and it's like it's actually a little bit. It's actually a little bit like, oh god.
Yeah.
I also wonder if that's like our ages now as well. They're looking at it slightly differently. I know in our
That would have been
20s.
our age around that time, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but that's what I mean. Like it's.
But no consequence life, isn't it?
So I
It's
could still
apart-
go for senator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't think you should.
You haven't quite had an illustrious bodybuilding and acting career yet. But
You get a jag. You get a jag.
That's basically.
Dave Chappelle when he gives all the black people get reparations, and have you seen it? And it's the
Dave
woman on the
Chappelle
street
show
going,
is sick.
"With your broke ass." Have you never seen it?
I have not
It's
seen
basically
that.
like
You haven't seen the Chappelle show?
it's a skit.
I've
where
not seen that one specific
okay.
skit.
All
God
right.
damn,
It's one of-
it's ready to pop up at me for not seeing
It's
that.
the premise is what would happen
Chew on
if
this.
every black person in America got like, I think it was like $10 million, and it was like everyone was rolling around with like spinners.
Yeah,
it was very
yeah,
slapstick,
yeah,
but it
very
was just
good.
the woman who was like, "With your broke ass," into like the news camera because the news guy interviewing her was white.
It doesn't have any.
So it was just like it was just great.
yeah,
It was
okay.
great.
Loves you.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
I actually thought immediately of Mr. Deeds then.
Mr.
Do you
D.
remember at the end he buys everyone a Corvette?
Very, very sneaky, sir.
You're underestimating the sneakiness.
Underrated movie, that. Underrated movie. So that was Laugh of the Week. We got a couple of chuckles there. I like that. I
pretty
like that
good.
segment. Well done, Dean. Because it's like so many times people are talking about heavy stuff, and it's just nice now and again to have a little bit of a.
I've had enough heavy stuff. You know what I mean?
But 6 days of heavy stuff, haven't we?
Yeah.
True.
It's Friday.
I've
You know what I mean? It's Friday. That's...
I'm gonna turn off my notifications for BBC News because I am fed
Oh,
up.
don't laugh.
Of
Well,
people in
that's your own
Pakistan.
fault.
Yeah.
That's
People
your
in
own damn
Pakistan are
fault.
dying. There's a shooting in
BBC.
Oh,
Scandinavia.
look,
No,
you set him
no,
off.
no,
You set
get
him
out
off
of
now.
here.
Look.
Oh my
Yeah, it was
God.
on. It was on in the gym the other day. BBC News on, and I thought,
Oh, it's awful.
you know, you're probably fueling my rage right now. but
it's
also, why am I watching this in the gym? It's just nonsense.
It's the eternal balance of wanting to know what's going on, but then knowing enough that
I'd rather they put Blue Planet on if they're going to put BBC on.
That
you
should
know?
be on
I'd rather
anyway.
have that on in
Yeah,
the
it
gym.
should be on anyway. That's true.
Even on
you
mute.
can't run to a beautiful
I
scene of an orca
flipping could.
giving birth.
I could
can
watch
you?
that all. Yeah.
I think all he's really thinking of is nursing his hangover on
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Sunday.
He
That's
wouldn't be
what
in the
you're
gym, though,
really
would it?
thinking of Blue
What?
Planet.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be in the
He'd
gym.
be in the
on a hangover.
sauna.
Yeah,
In the sauna with
Oh,
Blue
sauna
Planet
with
on.
Blue Planet on.
Unreal.
Nice.
I tell you another thing. I sent it to you.
Go on.
It was that thing where it was like a hot tub, but they were getting rained on, and it was like all covered, and it was like basically like imagine a hot tub, but you're also getting kind of rained on. It's all fake, obviously, and they've got like thunder noises and lightning, and it's like all these men in there just like basically chilling in a storm.
It looked
looked
so good.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'll put it up on screen now,
yeah.
but like,
Good. Got another storm though.
oh, it was great. But Dean, it's
Is it time?
It's time for you. So what we're going to do now is the backstory of this. We said it before. He always turns up with a bag of miscellaneous sweet treats.
Oh, even today.
Did it again today.
Even today. What did you have today? How would you describe what he gave you today?
I have no idea.
You said
it was.
that's a bit rich or whatever. The way you said rich was
Sorry,
so rich. It was
sorry.
richer than the rich thing
Pause
that I
that.
brought in.
Was
anyway.
that an impression?
That
of
was your
me?
Ben impression,
No,
wasn't
no,
it?
that wasn't a Ben impression. I was trying to,
It was.
you know.
It's a bit rich.
Yeah.
Who have I turned into
I
then?
don't know who that was. I don't know. But
It was a bit rich, though, to
I
be
bought
fair.
in the little pizza things from the bakery section in Sainsbury's, which
You love
which
having
are
a
just a
mystery
great little
thing.
morning. You know, what is it? 70p, free if you don't scan it. I don't know.
Scan it, kids.
Stay in school. Scan your items.
Just admitting to petty theft on camera is so
No,
good.
Hey, you do realise that
The
although
woman
no,
next to me
no
did
one
it.
is watching this, but sod's law, the one that will lock you up and throw away the key. But yeah, so we've got
Can't
this
go
segment.
shopping in my local Sainsbury's anymore. No,
We've got this segment, and yeah, of course I got a little jingle for it.
Birthday pie, pints of cream,
Well done, chocolate.
bonbons.
Oh, sponge cake, my favourite.
Sam,
And then we have.
you've had way too much time on your hands this week, bro. This is amazing.
You've knocked this out the park.
There we go. We've got confectionery corner.
That is-
There we go.
Yeah, confectionery corner.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, gonna bring in a little treat for you guys to taste, but we're gonna blindfold you up. We're gonna give you a couple facts.
It's that time, is it?
And yeah, we're gonna see if you decide to chew on this or not, really, isn't it?
Perfect. Oh, okay then, Dean. So
Yeah.
tell us
Well,
why you've
why
got
have I
these lovely silk masks on us.
Well, because I'm gonna blindfold you and put something in your mouth.
Oh,
I'm having a panic attack.
Yeah. you look super stressed. Anyway, for everybody watching, this is today's confectionery under the cloth.
under the cloth. It's a good name for something, isn't it?
I'm going to use that cloth.
Under the cloth.
And for everybody who can't see the visual, basically,
Oh, sorry.
I have a display of what I'm going to get these guys to try today. And I don't know, maybe you've tried before, maybe you haven't, I don't know, but I've got one on a plate each here. Ben, you want to pass that one down to Sam?
Where are we? There we are.
So basically, I'm handing out
On
a
your left.
sample for these guys.
One for me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's you right there.
So
And,
let's not touch it first, because that might give away the shape.
So basically, I'm going to come out with 3 facts. After the first fact, you get to sniff it.
Right.
After the second fact, you get to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the third fact, you get to try it or chew on it or chew or not to chew. That's what you know.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
we're
decide.
going to basically go throughout these, and then we're going to put like a yes and no part, aren't we?
Can we touch it before we smell it? Because otherwise, I'm probably going to end up smelling
No,
the plate.
just smell the plate, mate.
It's
on the plate.
It's a plate.
You know how big the plate is.
Yeah.
It's on
Where's
plate.
the thing? I don't know how big the thing is on the plate.
Hey,
It's on
You
the
got
underside.
this
It's
guy.
on the underside of the plate.
This guy doesn't like being blindfolded, does he?
Oh,
Triggered.
All right. Yeah.
All right then. So,
Pineapples.
fact number 1. These were first made in the late 18th century in Holland by a baker called Gerard Kamphuisen.
Ah, they're old Camphoisen fingers, aren't they? I knew it.
The Kamphuisen. I hope
So we
I've
can
said
smell.
your name right, mate. Gerard Kamphuisen, if you're...
Ooh, I'm getting a hint of real soft bit of ginger, maybe. Like
It's not a bon.
I don't even know if I'm sniffing it.
Ginger. I was
Not
way
like,
off.
like a bit of a ginger nut type.
Yeah, it's like a
vibe.
nutty.
Okay,
thing,
you've had
isn't it?
your sniff tests now. Yeah.
Not heavily ginger, but like a subtle one.
So the second fact is I've tried these before. That's the
So
second
that's
fact.
not a fact.
It's a fact.
It's a Dean fact. It's a Dean.
What was I expecting?
Ah, he's hit us with a Dean fact. Let me-
Oh god! All right, yeah, fair enough. Can I touch it now, Dean? Is that... Hold on, how has he seen that? Has he found that button?
He's done well. To be fair.
Jeremy didn't see that.
Okay, that was a bit of a throwaway. I thought I'd.
Okay, so we can touch it. Oh,
Okay.
Okay,
okay.
now you can touch the.
So it's a disc.
Oh, I know what this is.
It's a disc.
These are good, actually.
Who
These.
knows what it is?
Ooh.
Oh, they're good.
I think it's the waffly things you get
Well,
at
in
Starbucks.
the third fact is in Australia, these are called coffee toppers, mate.
Yeah, the waffly things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
coffee
these are
toppers.
amazing. Can I taste
It's like
it
a
now?
toffee
Go and
waffle.
get stuck in. You're gonna chew in it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, isn't it?
So the name? Anyone know the name?
Is it a toffee waffle?
Toffle.
No, that's a fluffy rough. No.
Oh, that good they are.
Oh, I haven't had one of these, please, mate.
Oh God.
And you want another? I mean,
Oh wait, no, I do
got
not.
loads.
That's cinnamon.
So, all right. You
Heel
go with-
cinnamon.
Well, there isn't any. Pretty sure there's no cinnamon in there.
Well,
I'm reading
lucky
the French
because I've got
version
a
of the
severe
ingredients.
allergy.
Hold on.
There we go. So we can take this off now, won't we?
Well, so you got to. Well, they're Stroop waffles,
Stroop waffle.
Oh, that's
Okay.
what I said.
made in the. 18th
That is a
century.
definite chew to me because
And it is chewy, isn't it, as well? So
yeah.
Do you want a bit of that, love?
Again,
Sharing the Stroop.
was not expecting that,
That was delightful.
but well done.
Love a coffee topper.
That was
think-
lovely.
Yeah, touching them would have been the bad shout because you would have known what that was immediately.
You got to sniff first.
Yeah, you're right.
As
No.
with anything in life.
Whoa, I think like these lights are bright now, aren't they, Ben? Fucking hell.
It's not being in the
I
cinema.
feel like one of them Chilean cave miners, the ones that were dragged out.
Rip.
No.
Too
Did they all like? Did they live? I can't remember.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
One of them is a DJ now, I think.
He's performing in Uxbridge on a Tuesday night.
Liquid.
Liquid. Oh God, you've been there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Liquid. Spelt wrong as well, probably.
With a W.
Liquid with
Not beginning with a W.
Likwid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Liquid. Yeah, you're going liquid. 2 for 1.
So that was this week's confectionery corner.
Brilliant.
We've got more of those coming. Started you off with a nice, easy one that you
Yeah,
can
man,
buy
that was great.
at any local
I'm going to finish that.
franchise
That was really
store,
good.
So
Yeah, you know what? We're not very good with the whole social side, so maybe we need to get a bit better. But make sure, if you're watching this, episode 2, in the bag, really enjoyed that one. And I feel like with our setup now, I'm feeling like we're in a good spot.
Setup's nice, yeah,
but
smooth.
we need all your help, man. Like, it's really hard getting a podcast off the ground. So make sure you make sure you drop a comment. If you're on like podcast things, give us a rating. Just give us 5 star. I ain't going to ask you to give an honest review.
Tell your friend, tell a friend.
Just give us a 5 star.
Yeah. Don't be honest.
Don't be honest.
Truthful.
Just give us a 5. And if you don't want to give us a 5, just give us one anyway. It takes the same amount of time.
That's what I do to my Uber drivers, man. Just 5, innit?
It takes the same amount of time to give a 5 as it does a 4, doesn't it? So just give us a 5. And then if you're on YouTube, drop a subscribe and then comment. Let us know about what confectionery corners that you like, and also that we need some feedback about your live action stuff.
Yeah.
And make sure you will watch that out.
We'll come back with some One Piece.
Yeah, man. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening,
Yeah,
and we'll see you again
like,
next
subscribe,
week.
all of that. Thank you.
Appreciate it.